Iran warned. Clock ticking. Navy jets collide midair. Ebola global emergency. Rhino down. Cassidy defeated. Greetings, humanity. Let's grok the news, starting with the most important story in the world today. Dateline, Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump issued his strongest warning yet to Iran today, declaring the clock is ticking on stalled peace talks and cautioning that failure to reach a deal quickly could leave nothing left of the regime. In a Truth Social post, Trump urged Tehran to move fast on core U.S. demands, including nuclear restrictions, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and ending support for proxies, or risk resumed military action to end the fragile ceasefire. The statement comes amid fresh regional tensions, including reported drone strikes near the UAE's Barakah nuclear plant and Saudi targets, which have driven oil prices higher. Trump, fresh from his Beijing summit with Xi Jinping, appears determined to close the file on a conflict that began earlier this year with U.S. and Israeli strikes. Iranian officials have pushed back, citing a lack of trust and calling for sanctions relief, while talks in Pakistan have made little headway. National security analysts note the stakes are enormous for global energy flows and Middle East stability. The Strait of Hormuz handles about 1/5 of the world's oil supply. Any renewed blockage or escalation could spike prices further and disrupt supply chains. Trump has repeatedly signaled impatience, warning previously that Iran's whole civilization could be at risk without swift agreement. U.S. allies in the Gulf have expressed concern over potential spillover, while China, Tehran's top oil buyer, has reportedly committed not to provide material support. At home, the administration continues to emphasize border security and economic strength as intertwined with foreign policy successes. With midterm elections approaching, Republicans credit Trump's firm stance for strengthening America's position after years of perceived weakness. Critics in the media, as critics do, have downplayed the warnings or framed them as reckless, but the president's message remains clear. America will not tolerate endless delays from a regime long accused of sponsoring terror and pursuing weapons of mass destruction. Senior officials say the next 24 to 48 hours could prove decisive. Trump is expected to convene another Situation Room meeting soon. Markets reacted with rising oil futures, of course, and cautious equity moves, underscoring how tightly linked energy security remains to border prosperity. For Americans focused on lower prices at the pump and safer borders, a stable Middle East free of Iranian aggression represents a key priority the administration refuses to compromise. I'm Robert Gardner, using Grok each weekday to truthfully summarize the news, well seasoned with my opinions, of course. We review a roundup of the most critical reports in the world right after this. God with Us, the story of Jesus, is a full blending of all of the Gospels into one continuous narrative. It misses nothing from the Savior's life. Inspired by the majestic text of the King James Bible, God with Us is adapted to modern language, formatted for easy reading. A faithful paraphrase divided into brief stories fit for daily Bible study. This book presents the story of Jesus from his birth to his ascension. So find God with Us by me, Robert Gardner, at Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. Now, we grok the news headlines from around the world. Dateline Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. The World Health Organization has declared the Ebola outbreak in Congo and Uganda a public health emergency of international concern. The Bundibugyo strain has caused over 300 suspected cases and dozens of deaths, with limited vaccines available. Health teams race to contain the spread in conflict zones near borders, urging vigilance without panic. This rare strain highlights ongoing vulnerabilities in Central Africa's fragile health systems. Unlike the hantavirus cruise ship story, which continues to dominate headlines around the world, this Ebola outbreak is serious news. Dateline Mountain Home, Idaho. 2 U.S. Navy EA-18G Growler jets collided midair during an Idaho air show at Mountain Home Air Force Base. All 4 crew members ejected safely and are in stable condition. The dramatic crash, captured on video, forced event cancellation and a brief base lockdown. Spectators watched in shock as the aircraft plummeted, sparking a small fire, which was quickly contained. Dateline Baton Rouge. Trump-backed challenger Julia Lutlow advanced against Senator Bill Cassidy in Louisiana's GOP primary, forcing a runoff. Cassidy, who voted to convict Trump previously, suffered a major defeat. The outcome signals strong voter alignment with the president's agenda and retribution against perceived disloyalty within Republican ranks. As this observer has often said, with senators like Bill Cassidy, who needs Democrats? Dateline Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court rejected Virginia Democrats' redistricting bid and prepares key rulings. Decisions could shape congressional maps and affirm judicial independence on contentious issues, including representation and rights. Dateline Kiev. Ukraine launched a massive overnight drone attack on Moscow, killing at least 3, according to Russian authorities. Hundreds of drones targeted key sites in what Kiev calls a justified response. The escalation underscores the grinding nature of the conflict, with both sides trading long-range strikes amid the stalled peace efforts. Dateline Washington, D.C. Acting Attorney General Blanche has revealed substantial evidence of irregularities in the 2020 election, promising Americans will learn more about DOJ findings. This disclosure fuels ongoing debate about election integrity and the past weaponization concerns, aligning with priorities for transparent governance and restoring public trust. Dateline Florida. Control of the Republican House majority may hinge on Florida's 14th District special election. GOP candidate Mike Beltran positions the race as pivotal for maintaining legislative leverage on borders, the economy, and security priorities heading into the midterms. Dateline New York, New York. The UN's lead climate committee admitted several past projections were inaccurate, vindicating skeptics like this observer who questioned alarmist models. President Trump's past withdrawal from flawed accords gains fresh relevance as data adjustments highlight the need for pragmatic, evidence-based environmental policy over ideological mandates. This observer thinks it's far too late for the UN to actually get its head out of the climate clouds, but is hopeful. And here's a dateline from another foreign country, foreign to this observer anyway. Dateline Los Angeles. Socialist candidate Nithya Raman, wife of a Hollywood producer, secured entertainment industry backing in the L.A. mayor race. The contest highlights cultural divides over progressive policies versus traditional governance values in major American cities. Dateline, Washington, D.C. Thousands gathered on the National Mall for the Rededicate 250 prayer rally, which was celebrating America's faith heritage. The event underscores the enduring traditional values and national unity as the country approaches its 250th anniversary. Dateline, Basel, Switzerland. Bulgaria won Eurovision 2026 with an upbeat anthem, while Israel placed strongly despite the boycott attempts. The cultural competition reflected geopolitical tensions, but showcased resilience in artistic expression, as such competitions should. Dateline, Atlanta. Waymo driverless vehicles encountered some glitches, including cars trapped in a suburb, and some recalls. The incident spotlights challenges in autonomous tech rollout and the importance of reliable innovation for future transportation safety. As this observer has always said, keep your hands on the wheel, folks. And that goes for all AI activity, including Grok the News. A couple more headlines. Dateline, Bangkok. A deadly train crash in Thailand involved a driver who tested positive for drugs. Authorities investigate safety lapses in one of the country's worst recent air disasters. This observer recalls a certain song, On the Train to Bangkok, aboard the Thailand Express. Dateline, Kathmandu. Two Nepali climbers shattered their own Mount Everest world records in daring ascents. The feats highlight human determination and adventure amid ongoing risks on the world's highest peak. And I thank you for listening. Please join me tomorrow to once again Grok the News. I'm Robert Gardner. Godspeed and God bless.